All right, guys. Well, welcome. Welcome to the month of March, March 1st. We got the Pocket Change Market Report. Great time to drop this. Man, we got some awesome stuff to talk about from folks like you that are reselling on eBay and various platforms of that type. We're going to take a trip down, the overall market, see how things are shaping up, talk about some of the neat finds that are out there that you could certainly monetize on today. And the good news is you don't have to grade any of these coins that we are going to highlight. So we're going to kind of dive back into the last, I'd say, 36 hours worth of eBay market activity on some of the coins that you guys have found out there in circulation, or perhaps cherry picking the local coin shops and shows. That's another way to find some of these. And just to let you guys know how robust the market is currently. And as we head into the spring months, things are just going to intensify like they normally do. And then, when summer kind of approaches, the market overall kind of takes a little bit of a dip back. So I would say that if you guys are looking to make some extra side money and you have all of this abundance of coins that you may or may not care for, now might be the time to do that. And, just really accumulate some money that you could use for, the summer. I know that's what we're doing ourselves. And it's always good to have, a few extra $1,000. And that's like a very realistic example of how much you can make in a few months' time. You could certainly do a lot better. I know people personally, that make tens of thousands of dollars in this hobby doing a lot of the things that we talk about on this particular stream. All right. So can't wait to jump in there. And let's see. Wanted to let you guys know whatnot I saw on the platform. Again, one of the fastest growing live social media auction platforms to date. And coins and precious metals, it's hotter than ever. If you're not a part of one of the biggest websites of this type, now's a good time to jump in. And myself personally, we do shows every Friday. We actually took last night off, but normally we do a show every single week. 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern is our normal time for the shows. And, we sell some pretty great type coins. Okay, if you're looking for affordability, if you're looking for that up-level trophy coin that you want to add to your collection, look no further. We have the goods for you. All right, so we have a QR code right on screen. If you sign up under me, you get $15 off your first item, courtesy your boy Blue. You gotta love that. It's like half off of a silver coin or a silver 1 ouncer, whatever that looks like. But you could use it on anything and it's automatically applied. All right. If you did not want to use the QR code or you don't know how, I also have my links down below in the description box and pinned to the comment section. Go ahead and check it out. It's a lot of fun. All right. So we're going to jump right in. And the big premium highlight coin of the week, another one to add to your hunt list, the 2024P Zikala Sa American Women Quarter. Man, there's been quite a few things to look for here. The double chin, which is an actual legitimate double the die. I believe Wexler and Dr. Wiles have highlighted that particular coin in their files. So they're coming out like with VDDO or VDDR number 1, WDDR number 1, things like that. But as cool as that is, and those things, tend to sell for like $20-$30. They're really neat. But this one ended up popping off here on eBay just within the last, I'd say, hour or two, with a pretty cool strike through on the reverse. And we've seen quite a few strike through error events on a fair amount of the American Women quarters. So you would think that, eventually it would get all cleaned up and quality control would be at its premium. But here we are. This is a coin that just came out, during the holidays? It's a relatively recent release into circulation. So I don't know if you guys see it right there on the reverse over activist, composer, some of those words on there. Here's a little bit of a close-up. And this is our good tried and true, what they call field restricted strike through, where the feeder finger actually makes contact with the top of the die, and there's always some sort of like some grease, some compound involved with that contact. So each and every single strike through event is going to be a little bit different as far as shape and size is concerned. But this is a really neat one here. The one lone example that I've been able to find is this one here, and it ended up selling for $64.51. I mean, if that isn't at all an incentive to hunt for these, along with all of the other great coins out there, I don't know what it is, that's enough money to fill a lot of gas tanks out there. And it's certainly worth its weight. If you had to look for coins, you can find some that are a lot worse than this. So just keep your eyes peeled on these strike throughs, on the Zitkala Sa, and I would say pretty much any other American women quarter that's going to be produced during this 3-4 year time period. We are officially in the last year of this series, so some people I think are kind of like celebrating, within themselves that this program's going to be coming to a close. It's been met with very, very mixed reviews, over design and detail and things like that. Myself personally, I've enjoyed it. It's been pretty cool, but I certainly did not go out of my way to, hunt a lot of these, and more so just, kind of looking at them closer as they come, to me and change. So there you go. Yeah, one to add to the list. Brand spanking new error type that you guys need to know about. Here's another great one here. Anything Statehood quarters and mint error. If you put these two together, it's like America and apple pie, right? It's like awesome mix. There's a lot of collectors of anything off-center struck or broad struck for the quarters, and people are looking to assemble like full date sets, or maybe they're looking to get one of each type of state, which is a tall order in itself. The North Carolina here, a very mild, very minor off-center struck or broad strike, however you want to see it here, did sell here in the last day or two. $25, 2 bids, and the tougher the state, the better. They're always going to be worth a lot more money. If there's a certain state that you come across with a mint error on it, they're just going to be much more desirable because there's not a lot of them out there. Oh boy, our good old 2023 Extra V Lincoln Cent. This is actually a really nice one, and this is more of a case of the market really settling in on these. Even though they're 2 years old since they were first discovered, there's still a lot of desirability here, especially with the recent sale of one on Great Collections that was graded NGC Mid-State 69 red. Could there be a little bit more of a resurgence? Possibly, I think people just still love buying these and then getting them graded and then flipping them and making the few $100 here and there. So 2023 Philadelphia. This particular one is actually in really nice shape. There's a little bit of a close-up provided by the seller, so it's a little out of focus, but you can see that extra V notch next to Victor David Brenner's initials at the truncation of Lincoln's bust right there. So this particular one sold for $30. It was bid up 7 times to this amount. Glad to see that they still have some value, and for those of you out there that's looking to make a little extra money without ever touching a grading service, you could find these in rolls, which are still very, very present out there in the world today. Look for these coins and then sell them raw, and typically they'll go for like $25 to $40. Again, the cleanliness and grade of them is what really determines how much you'll receive for them. All right, pretty cool to find some old ancient silver in there. Not too ancient. This one just over 100 years old, 1921. Morgan dollar, minted into oblivion, as they say. A lot to look out for on this particular date, whether it's a P, D, or S mint. They're just cool coins. Final year of the Morgan dollar. And they're neat. These things are really awesome to possess in your collection. But also, if you're a hoarder of such and you like to buy like scrap silver or just a bunch of Morgan and Peace dollars, rest assured, because of its time, there's going to be a lot of mint errors you can find as well, along with some of those cool VAM varieties. So this one right here popped up on eBay with a lamination, actually on the reverse. I'll show it to you a better picture for you here in a moment. This one sold for $68.95. And there's your lamination, a nice retained piece right in the motto "In God We Trust" right there, showing it kind of flipped up. You could probably slip a little piece of paper under there for dramatic effect. I know that's what a lot of sellers like to do. Like the edge of a post-it pad is popular because you can do different colors and they just kind of contrast and accent well with the actual the silver composition of the coins themselves. So a pretty good sale on a coin. Otherwise, you can pick up for about $30. In this condition, it's actually in really nice shape. Probably like a mid-state 61 grade, But yeah, coin dealers will have these for around $30, in that condition. So you can really do well if you got your peepers nice and cleaned and, you're ready to cherry pick. This would be a good one here too. Another one here as well. Check out your scrappy dappy Franklin half dollars. You might find this too. 1963D Franklin half dollar with a defective planchet. It's got a little bit of a crack of sorts. Using the red arrows, you can see where it's at. This one really easy to miss. If you blink once, you'll probably miss it. That's how small and rather insignificant it is. But if you are able to find it and you promote it well, like this seller does all the time, then you can make a few bucks here and there. So this one right here sold for $30.75. Considering that it looks to be just a melt value piece, which is what, $11? Somewhere around there, $11 in today's melt value or spot price. And then turning around and making nearly 3x the value here on this coin. I mean, sign me up. That's a great way, to pad your wallet. And, again, it's small. And I find these all the time. I find them on Kennedy half dollars. I find them on Walking Liberties. So, you guys get the big picture now. This one was sold as a buy now. So you might have to promote it and sell it like that in order to have a sale of, nearly 3x the value. You could do a regular auction, not guaranteeing that you'll get or touch the same amount of money that this seller did. So much like the Morgan dollar we saw a few moments ago, we have a 1922 Peace dollar. I actually dig on these photos, but it helps kind of clarify something. This one looks clean. This looks like a clean coin. It's a little bit too shiny and mirrory for my taste. However, the mint errors, you can find them in any which way on these. This one, another lamination here, sold for $48.95. Right in front of Lady Liberty's eyes. Like she's got that stare down with the lamination peel. And there's a nice little extra close-up of that event there. So not damaged. Just thought I'd let you know. That is definitely not a damaged coin. That is a true blue, legit U.S. mint error right there. So the impurities really showing on this one, where you just don't have a really prime planchet for the coins. There's going to be little things here and there, like this one here that highlight, how imperfect the planchet prep is for the future strikes of our nation's coinage. I love talking about woodies, like this one here. Improper alloy mix is its official kind of like terminology. And, just to kind of recap, the negligible small amount of tin or zinc that they add to the copper doesn't quite mix too well with it. So this is kind of like your final product as a result of that. 1919S, not particularly a rare date to find with woodies. I found quite a few of this date with this. It always helps when you have it double-sided. The reverse is a little bit light on the grain, you know. The obverse is quite attractive, albeit it's like half the coin on the front. But sale-wise, $19.95. That's actually pretty good considering that this coin is worth about $3 or $4. 1919S is a very common date for Lincoln cents. Wow, neat one here. $50 bill. Just look at the misalignment of the print. So you have the overprint with the serial numbers and the district seals and all that great stuff. The base print of the front, you know, with Ulysses Grant and all of the fancy other design work. You know, obviously the registration wasn't there, so it's not quite matching up. Yeah, it's a misalignment. When we look at the reverse, you know, it's perfectly centered. So the print process number 2, which is that base print of the front, was not aligned to the sheet. So that's what we got there on that one. You would be surprised this one ended up selling for $200. All right, just giving you just an overall impression of the paper money kind of scene right now is absolutely balls to the walls, insane. You know, it just continues to impress me more and more how much paper money is making a huge impression to the collectability and the market as a whole. I mean, you know, people are really embracing paper money that want to collect them. And if we just take out the whole fiat currency kind of debate of how much these things are like more like akin to toilet paper, you know, the collectability, again, you have to understand, you know, the market, you have to understand the collector base. If you don't understand any of that to get at all, it's probably not for you. But for folks like me, I like to find these and then sell them, and then I'll cash in. I'll cash in on your guys' behalf that are not believers in paper money errors. Lincoln cent here. This one looks like a copper, so pre-1982. No date, obviously, because of that wild strike-through event, which it is a strike-through. It's a struck-through capped die. So there was a coin that was stuck to the head of the die, and it had struck a bunch of other coins prior to this one. And when it does, you know, you're not going to have any discernible features of what is a normal obverse of a Lincoln cent. You know, like with Lincoln and the date and the motto and liberty and things like that. So this particular example sold for $69.72. Great sale. It's one of the bigger sales of a cap die I've seen in quite a while. This one is just overall a really nice peach of a coin. Not a whole lot of distracting things with it, carbon spots or scratches and all that. Another piece of currency, boy, this thing's a little bit rough. $1974 bill. 1974 as a series, boy, they really did not care about quality at all back in the day. Let alone taking the notes out of you know, their BEP packs before they go and send them off. They're just like, no, we're going to go ahead and send every single conceivable error possible, from mismatched serial numbers to misalignments to, wedding transfers, gutter folds, inverted print, overprint, and all that great stuff. I mean, 1974 as a whole was a crazy, crazy year for paper money errors. This one, a really wild misaligned shift of the overprint all the way to the right. And, yeah, I mean, it is not a pretty note. Not a pretty note, but the sale, on the other hand, was quite stunning. $165 for this one was the sold price. Some of you are going to ask, is that even worth it in that condition? I'm like, yeah, you know, when there's something that dramatic, you know, people will pay some of the most, I guess, unreasonable amount of money you could ask for on something that, you know, obviously, you know, it looks like a fair-weathered grandpa at the end of the day. Yeah, this one right here is still loved by everyone, just like grandpa was. So, yeah, there's going to be always collectability on a lot of coins and paper money that looks a little bit less than desirable eye appeal-wise. There's always going to be some love here. Yeah, we do covered world coins. Here's our one world coin submission for the week. 1944 Australia penny struck off center. Not something we see too often. This one sold for $68.39 US. And that's with 19 total bids on that one. Very impressive, by the way. We've seen a fair number of Canadian cents that are struck off center, but this is, I'd say, the first time we've had a Australia penny for an off center strike. And the sale was about what you would expect. Very nice one. Yeah. So this one was a slightly misdiagnosed error. 2015 D Jefferson nickel with what the seller thought was a 45-degree clockwise rotation error. As it turns out, when you flip this thing over, and good job, by the way, for the seller by using the staples as kind of like your markers here, so that way people can see that. Is actually 135 degrees clockwise rotation error. That's nuts. The sale price even equally more nuts because I've seen these sell for like 50, 60 bucks on any given day. Someone got a bargain here, $24.33. Wild, just wild. That a coin that is 10 years old still exhibits this crazy kind of min error, and there's more of these where they came from. 1906 Liberty V nickel, very well loved example. This thing, if not for the crazy routine lamination on the obverse there, which by the way the seller said was a die crack. All right, close but no cigar. This one is a lamination, but if it didn't have the lamination, you'd be talking about a coin you could buy for about 50 cents in the bargain bins of a lot of the nation's coin shops out there. This one sold for $51.24. How does that work? Well, it's all in the minutia, the lamination, the error. Surprisingly, it makes it all happen for a lot of these sellers. Another fan favorite here. This one overachieving a little bit, I would say. 2005 D. This is the Bison reverse, kind of a throwback design to the Buffalo nickel. This one has the ever-present detached leg variety, as they call it. And the detached leg is just an over-polishing of that top of the leg, so it appears like it's not even attached to the body of the bison on there. And so this particular one sold for $49.25. And I have to think back long and hard of when the last time I sold one for around that kind of money, and it was actually a Mid-State 65 annex graded example with a detached leg that I think sold for right around 48, 49 bucks. This particular one, however, has seen the light of day of many cash registers and doesn't look to be like a really high-end example, but it is an example. And the price tag, it is what it is. It was a buy it now hit, so someone really needed it for their collection. Pretty cool one here. Indian Head Cents have always been a favorite of mine to kind of pick through. A lot of misplaced dates, repunch dates, things of that nature. 1891 is actually, this one right here is a great looking XF40 coin. Repunch date, Snow number 3, and FS301 in the Cherry Picker's Guide variety, or book. There you go. Check out the doubling of the 1, 8, 9, and the last one, all to the tops of each number there. So if you guys aren't aware, back way long ago, 120 plus years ago, Mint employees actually tapped in the numbers independently onto the working die. So that, like they did with Mint marks all the way up to 1989, presents some pretty stunning kind of like things. Repunch dates is one of those. A Mint employee would set their punches for the numbers, and maybe they might be a little higher or low. Then they'll reset it, retap it, and then that's where you get your repunch effect on these. 75 bucks, 84 cents. I'm willing to bet this person bought this coin for around 10 bucks because that's what an XF 1891 normally goes for. Cool, man. Wow, what a great sale. Great story, too. When you could find something like this and then turn around and really do good. If you're not into collecting these, by the way, another thing that was not brought up, there's also a misplate date. You can see like the top of an 8 punch right here in the identicals, which is a nice little added bonus as well. This thing has a lot going for it. Not pretty at all. Not pretty. Very common date, 1935 Buffalo nickel. Probably a VG coin, but boy, it doesn't have issues. Carbon spots up to yin yang on this one. Um, but if you're able to get through all those carbon spots on the reverse, you can actually find a attached lamination strip that goes right through the Buffalo. There it is, right under E pluribus unum, right there on the body. Still attached, man. That's cool. $18.76. Again, the coin probably you could buy at a shop for a quarter or 50 cents in the bargain bin. They're pretty cheap. 1940s. Really, really awesome date. Off center struck by about maybe 15%. It looks to be in pretty nice shape. This thing was procured and saved in some fashion to where it didn't see the light of day. I would guess for probably 50, 60 years plus. If there are dedicated date collectors of off center struck Lincoln cents, that this one would find a home for sure. $89.92 was the sale price on that one. 1983p Jefferson nickel, our first cut die break right over the word trust on the obverse, as you can see. Small, very, very unassuming at first glance. Is that a bead of solder that's on there? Some would say. No, that was actually a byproduct of a broken die. A piece of the die had cracked and fallen out, and there you go. That's your end product there. $49.51. Again, a little bit on the overachieving side, but people will buy and collect what they want to. If the price makes sense to them, then they'll go ahead and buy it as such. Another big cut die break, back to back. This one undated, obviously, for the reasons you see on this coin. Very popular, and this one's sold by In God We Trust Coins and Currency on eBay. If you have your logo, by the way, on your images, we will talk about you. Hopefully you don't mind. What's also pretty cool, if you look at the obverse, right on Washington's nose and then in the back of his hair, die clashing on this one. So again, another double duo of awesomeness here. This one sold for $101.99. That's always good to see. Nice sale on that one there. 1966 Washington quarter with two clips. Two clips on this one. So two shallow sheet clips. This one sold for $13.47. All right, and another double-clipped candy half dollar, this time on 1964 Philly, 90% silver, half dollar. So this one sold for $36. A little word to the wise, if you find these in a scrap silver bin, boy, pull them out. Pay your $11 and flip them immediately. $36, more than 3 times melt value on this puppy, and it's not even that great a condition. It's not. It's your prototypical, I've been through many slot machine types 50-cent piece, and that's what it is here. 1972. Yeah, this is a great reason to search through this particular date of Lincoln cent, right? 1972 Lincoln cent FS 108 doubled die obverse. Cool coin. This seller has been banging these out here lately and making a ton of money at it. This one right here, look at that doubling on the date, on the motto, on Liberty. What a sweetheart of a coin. I own a few of these myself. I just can't get rid of them. I can't. I could own these in quantity and don't even care. There's a point I've owned about 133 of various double to dies for 1972, from FS 101 to FS 109. So, yeah, I'm really enjoying and digging this collection and this particular date. Nonetheless, man, you got to look at every 72. Your odds are going to be really good of finding one of these double to dies. This one, by the way, sold for $133.90. Just saying, it's very rich in money. Speaking rich in money, I cannot friggin' believe that this one sold not graded. 1942, over 1, Denver, Mercury dime. This is the lesser known overdate for the same date. Of course, we all know the 42 over 1 Philly, which is, it looks like a zip code at the end of the day because it's got like 5 numbers in the date there. 1942 over 1. In case you guys need a refresher, you're going to see the extra bar, the bottom vertical bar of the 4, and then also the bottom of the 1 underneath the 2 there, the bottom left of the 2. Great job by the seller on doing the right thing and using the microscope for what is intended to be, to take great pictures. $754.99. It seems like it's cheap because this coin is like XF40, which normally does sell for like 1,200-1,300 bucks. So someone probably got a pretty good deal. This one might end up in a graded holder. That kind of would make sense to kind of seal the deal and put this one, above the rest. This one, by the way, is a little bit more expensive than the 42 over 1 Philly because it should be a little bit tougher to find. So we're going to end off our PCMR for the weekend with 2 absolutely insane paper money errors, starting with this 1988A. What's gone right with this note? Not a damn thing. Super atomic misalignment deal on this one. Miscut. Shoot. And the note's in really nice shape, by the way. Yeah. This thing doesn't need a whole lot more explanation. I think the visuals on it, tell the story to a maximum T here. This one sold for $337.65, 18 bids, and ungraded. I always promote the don't grade this if you have to, because the note is still worth that, even if it's in a PMG holder or a PCGS banknote holder. And the final one, not nearly as pretty, granted. 1969A, crazy, just misalignment on the overprint. It's not only is it to the right a bunch, but also down. So it's southeast, if we're going to do compass directions here. Shifted southeast on the sheet. And the reverse, perfectly centered. But this note has been around the block. It's been through a few wallets, a few purses, I'm sure. Selling for $309.65 with 69 total bids. Wow. We've certainly seen some pieces here, folks. I want you guys to pay close attention to coin number 1 on this PCMR. Another new one. We're also going to be talking about one of the newest doubled dies to hit the scene on another 2024 American Women Quarter. That is probably, if we thought that the Mary Edwards Walker DDR is insane, this other one that just recently got attributed is equally as powerful, if not the top variety. Man, it's so crazy. So crazy. I can't wait to talk about it here, probably in the next few days. We're going to try and find one of those because we have a bankroll of it. I'm not going to let the full cat out of the bag. You guys are going to have to wait for that one. Information provided is for educational use only. As a refresher, not financial advice. Please collect and or grade your coins responsibly. And I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I wish you guys the best of luck in your hunts this weekend. Coin shows happening all springtime long. Coin shops, very receptive of your business. So go there, do some cherry picking, and have fun with it. It's going to be a lot of fun between now and the summertime. Come and join us as we embark on a journey like no other. And hopefully I get to chronicle one of your sales on a PCMR future video. You guys take care, happy hunting, and I will see you on the next coin video. So long.